Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Welcome to Arts Parks Library and Entertainment. We're official!
Very thrilled about this.
Okay, so I don't think we have any public comment. I didn't see.
Oh, no.
Yes. Anyone out there? Okay, so no public comment for committee. Let's do a quick roll call. I am present. Councilmember Cap will be here in about, what do we say? He's around 4:41, so we got about 20 minutes on his arrival. Councilmember Eastland, President of County Board, Councilmember
I didn't see
Ewing,
the response.
Councilmember Gadd,
Here.
Vice Chair Rosen here, and Councilmember Well. Thank you, I didn't even get a chance to say it. Fantastic, okay, so it looks like we've got a few pages, and then we can talk about some of our items that we've talked about throughout the year as we go into the budget. So first up, we have RS 2024-403, Porterfield Stiles and Welsh approves a sole source contract between the Nashville Public Library and Overdrive Inc. for the provision of ebooks, e-audiobooks, artist works, e-magazines, and Canopy subscription service.
Move.
Can I get a second? Excellent. Any discussion? Seems self-explanatory? Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. None against, no abstentions. Next up, Resolution RS 2024-404, Porterfield Stiles and Welsh approves a sole source contract between the Nashville Public Library and the Rosen Publishing Group, Inc. for licenses and database access for interactive ebooks across a range of subjects and formats that impact successful student learning outcomes. Can I get a motion?
Move.
Second.
Second? Okay.
Waiting for.
Any discussion? All right, self-explanatory. All in favor?
Aye.
Any against? Abstaining? Perfect. Motion passes. RS 2024-405 accepts the terms of a cooperative purchasing master agreement for promotional and commemorative items for the Nashville Public Library.
Move.
Second.
Okay. Oh, Eastland got it.
Any oh, jinx, you owe each other a Coke. Okay. Any discussion on this? Also good? Awesome sauce. All in favor?
Aye.
No abstentions, none against, motion passes. RS 2024-406, Porterfield Stiles and Welsh accepts the terms of a cooperative purchasing master agreement for hardware, software, cloud, and technology solutions, technology accessories, and professional services for the Nashville Public Library Department.
Move.
Second.
Awesome. Any discussion? All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Any discussion? I'm sorry. Any opposition? Any abstentions? None. This passes as well. RS 2024-407, Porterfield Stiles, Welsh, and others appropriates a total of $33,390.40 from the Nashville Public Library to an array of charm camps for youth development for the provision of summer programming to youth for rising 5th to 9th graders in June 2024.
Move.
Second.
Any discussion?
I have one quick question.
Councilmember Ewing?
What is a charm camp? To make the
Sorry?
kids more
What
charming.
is a charm
An array.
camp?
An
Oh,
array of
it's the
charm.
name of the organization.
Oh, I
Array
see.
of Charm, but they provide services in Bordeaux area, and
Okay.
with this funding, this is part of NASA, if you're familiar with
Ah,
NASA.
okay.
So this is part of our summer funding grants that we provide for
That's
summer
lovely.
programming.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Vice Chair Vo, Councilmember Cap, you're early. Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm here with the vice chair.
And you all decided to chat on your way in, so now you'll be silent as you sit together. Awesome sauce. Let me mark you both as present. Excellent. Okay. Resolution 2024-407, Porterfield. I'm sorry, 408. Porterfield Stiles, Welsh, and others appropriates a total of $56,779 to increase the individual grant amounts and amend grant contracts from the Nashville Public Library, Councilmember Eastlick, to specific nonprofit organizations for the provision of after-school and summer programming to youth for rising 5th and 9th graders in June 2024.
Move.
Second.
Any questions? Councilmember Ewing. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. None opposed, none abstaining. Motion passes. Number 7, Resolution 2024-409, Porterfield and Stiles approves a contract by and between the Metropolitan Government and Sailors Golf Carts, Inc. for the provision of golf cart rentals and maintenance.
Second.
Okay, self-explanatory.
Is it, I wanted to know where are these golf carts going? What are they?
They're
What are we using
golf
them
course
for?
for the golf courses.
Oh, so just
Just in
golf
general.
carts? Okay, just in general?
So
Okay.
our previous person went way up. He was in the new contract he bid. He went way up on prices. So with our new one, we get 61% of the revenue from the golf carts. The provider gets 39%, but they provide the carts, maintenance, and all the fuel and everything. So we just get 61% revenue, and they run all the golf carts.
Perfect. Great.
So.
Thank you. So glad you were able to be here to share that information with us.
I thought maybe we were all getting our own, you know?
Okay, all in favor? Aye. Okay, 7 in favor, 0 against, none abstaining. Motion passes. Bill on second reading, BL 2024-334, Porterfield Tombs, Stiles, and Others, an ordinance adding Chapter 2.107 to the Metropolitan Code of Law to authorize the Farmers Market Board to adopt rules and regulations enabling sponsorships for events and programs put on by the Nashville Farmers Market.
Move. Second.
Any discussion? I know we talked about this one before as it pertained to the fairgrounds. It's very similar.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I was just gonna ask if they're,
Hi.
what the max is.
Oh, yeah, hi, I'm Darrell Lane, I'm the director at the market. I've been there a couple of years, so nice to be here today. Yeah, I'd be glad to tell you a little bit about kind of the reason for this request is, since I've been at the Nashville Farmers Market, I can actually share with you, we've had a tremendous amount of growth, not only from post-COVID as everybody's experienced, but what we've also experienced is a very aggressive team that is marketing the farmers market and growing the market, I believe, in the right direction. With this growth that we've seen, and I'll give you an example, Strawberry Jubilee, which we're actually hosting this Saturday, for the last 2 years has brought approximately 5,000 people to the farmers market on just Saturday alone. And so with these festivals, as we try to engage with the community, it requires funding. And what we have been doing historically at the farmers market is we have been using our operating budget. And so it came up as a suggestion, actually, from one of the board members as I was talking about how we could grow the market, to possibly seek sponsorship to be able to help us grow in areas that we need to grow that would allow us to use sponsorship that's appropriate. So that's why we need to write guidelines for it. And then the other thing, too, is to try to make sure we're minimizing our operation budget to be able to host these events and grow these things at the farmers market. As you know, our market is still subsidized by Metro. And it's our goal to not have subsidy in the future. We have reduced subsidy over the last couple of years. These partnerships will also affect that in a positive way because we're not using an operating budget.
Well done.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
And anyone else have any questions?
There's one question, and this can be
Yes,
kind of a
Councilmember
carry.
Gadd.
Thank you so much, Chairwoman Stiles.
Yeah.
I would love to find out more about the cost of vendors for their place, and it could be an after, like, to follow up with you, to kind of understand that more of which business owners, what are the costs of, like, certain vendors. I've had a couple of questions from some of the folks up at the Richland and some, anyway, so if you don't mind, I'd like to follow up.
Absolutely, absolutely. I just would say one thing, that when I came to the market, there was inconsistency with the expenses for the vendors. And we've written all of our programs for the farmers market, so everything is in writing that we can follow, which makes it nice and easy. But I'd be more than happy to share that with you. We have a very structured format.
That's wonderful. Yeah, I'd love to talk about that and how we're engaging other communities and what that looks like.
Absolutely.
We're thinking about our non-English speaking communities too. So thank you so much.
Absolutely, yes, you're welcome.
Okay. Vice Chair vote.
Thanks, Chair. I just wanted to know, after y'all create the rules and regulations, will y'all bring those back so we can review, like, see what they are? Or this just allows you to create it? And then, because you said you were still putting it together with the board.
Yeah, great question. Well, at this point, like I said, we've proposed it to the board already, and the board agreed that we should move forward with it. And so that's where we tag team with our legal team to put together, everything so that we could present it for vote. Nothing has been written in writing at this point. Like I said, it's in its early stages. But certainly, we're just very hopeful, going forward, that, we have another avenue of creating revenues that the community will benefit from, and we don't actually have to use our operating budget for. So, but to answer your question is, I can come back and present that if that's something that would be requested.
I think that would be wonderful, so we could take a look
I'd be more
at
than
it.
happy to do that, sure.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Excellent.
yeah.
Are there any, that answered my question. So, are there any other questions? Excellent. Then all in favor?
Aye.
Excellent. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Bill passes on second reading. And that is the end of our legislative agenda. As we are getting ready to go in budget season for all the newbies and Hunger Games for the old folks, we have throughout this year talked with different organizations, i.e. the Municipal Auditorium came before us and let us know that, the cost for that, say, do design might be like around $200,000 or $300,000. And as we're each getting to do our individual budgets, if there's anything that's come before us, we can talk about if we want to have items that we each are included on our individual list, because we don't have committee budget wish lists. Is that possible? Can we do that?
Committee budget wish list, I mean,
Could we?
I don't know that we've done it before.
Oh, I like that. Can we be the first?
Well, I mean, potentially. I don't know that it really, I don't know that it really, I mean, you're all able to submit one individually.
Correct, but like
I know that
caucuses.
caucuses submit them
Correct.
often. I don't see why a committee wouldn't be able to submit one,
Well,
but
great,
I also
guys.
think, part of it is to just get the information in front of the council, so you could also submit
Awesome.
them individually.
So, for our next meeting, I'm going to compile the requests that that we've had thus far, and then we can go over them, and whatever we agree with, we can move forward with as a committee, and then we can also include them in our individual lists if we would like to. But I think it makes it easier since we've had a lot of people come through, and we have addressed a lot of issues that haven't been touched before. So municipal being one, of course, we currently have Metro Arts. I've presented legislation that's on first reading for tonight to look at adding one of us from this committee to the Metro Arts Commission, so we actually have a direct pipeline of communication, as well as legislation as well to add one of us to the Music, Film, and Entertainment Commission as well, and replacing the Recording Academy representative with now a new council pick, because the Recording Academy has said that really didn't fit for them to put someone on that commission. So, and I will have some additional legislation for our next meeting regarding Metro Arts and finance and legal being involved and just running around with no guardrails and not keeping us abreast of absolutely anything that's happening in the nightmare that is the mess that is Metro Arts currently. So, just wanted to, in case you hadn't had a chance to look at the agenda, those are items that I have put out there. We'll certainly be talking about them at the next meeting here, and certainly more in depth. So, are there any questions, comments, anything that we haven't covered as we think about the budget that we haven't talked about yet? We know that library said that they don't have any financial requests. Parks also does not have a request. So, anything else that you might have heard on the grapevine and we haven't had here before us yet?
I know I talked to the Nashville City Cemetery recently, and I know currently it's under parks, but they do have a large fest coming up, so there's a couple things they might want in the cycle if possible.
Have they told you what it is yet, or they're still percolating?
No, they have. They submitted it. I think I just haven't had a chance to look, so I can ask and then get that from them.
In fact, could they
tomorrow, right?
Could they come tomorrow? Yes.
Or could do tomorrow.
Can we ask? Can you ask them if they would like to come to our next meeting, so they can present, and whatever their ask is, we can add that.
Yeah.
Talk about adding that to our committee list.
Do we have a certain amount of time that we can reach out to have maybe an item added for consideration on the agenda? I can't remember, like if it's.
So to talk about here or just in general, just as individuals submitting our.
Well, I mean,
wish list?
if we're gonna consider like items for the committee, just thinking, like, is there,
Yeah, I would, if you
for our
know of
next
a
meeting?
department.
Yeah,
Because
because I don't have, I was gonna say, if someone makes me aware, can I lift that up to the committee at a certain time, you know?
Our
'cause I know
next
there's-
meeting will be the last moment, because then we're heading into June, and then we're
Okay.
starting to vote.
So
and
basically
towards the
our
end of this
next
month.
committee
Yes.
meeting, okay.
That's
All right.
it, but I wanted us to have this meeting so we could have initial
Yeah.
conversation.
So if there's something
reflection.
out there that we're hearing, getting that, and for consideration for the next committee meeting would be, okay.
So like a week from now would be good, so
Yeah.
that we have it, so we can add it, anybody
For the
has any
time
question,
before.
exactly.
And
And so-
I may not have you there, I'm just curious, I just want to make sure before.
City cemeteries, so we'll put that on for a guest for next meetings.
When are our wish lists due?
If I'm not mistaken, I think they're due the last week of this month.
Last week of May, so we'll get them in the next,
We should be getting them
this week.
momentarily.
Yeah, sometime this week, so.
So we have a question in the back.
Yes, ma'am, hi.
If it may be appropriate, I'm Jessica Horn, Procurement Officer for Nashville Public Library, and
Oh, wow. Hi.
I do have something to put on the radar if this is
Oh,
the
please.
appropriate time.
Yes.
My understanding is that the mayor's office, the version of the budget did not include our second line item for budget modification
Okay.
request, which is for a safety coordinator position, and that is more of a need than a want. And
great.
and so I can expand upon that if you prefer.
Please do, and if you can also give us a number that you need.
I can get that number to you, probably by the end of, before even you meet with the full body council, so
That would
I'll
be
make sure.
fantastic. Thank you.
I will get that information to you. We currently have, our security manager, he is doing the work of 2 or 3 people, and that's a combined, he leads our security officers throughout the building, he helps coordinate the Allied Protection, the security guards that are brought on who are not Metro employees. And while he's coordinating that, he is also our safety coordinator, and it's just a lot for one role. And so our concern in future succession planning and everything like that, he's one of a kind, and we're so grateful for him, but we need to make sure that in the future, we're gonna be able to fill these really large shoes. And so our ask for this position is to still have a safety coordinator, and that role is making sure when we're doing the inspections that all of our fire and life safety systems are working correctly. Right now, we're doing all of the inspections throughout our public facilities to make sure the sprinkler systems are operating, we have the correct number of fire extinguishers, and that's a lot for him to handle while he's also making sure, is there an unruly patron perhaps, or a security situation that's putting staff or other patrons at risk. And so we're just trying to make sure we have a position who can focus on the safety, the fire life safety systems, the OSHA requirements, the training of employees, in addition to then making sure he's able to focus on the security aspect of keeping everyone safe throughout all of our facilities. So we do want to make sure we have this opportunity if possible. So I can get you, if you have any other questions, whatever information you need.
No, thank you for coming today.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Thank
thank
you.
you so very much. So once can you send that to joy.styles@nashville.gov?
We'll get it to you tonight.
Perfect.
Thank you.
So when we come back for our next meeting, I'll have a draft of the budget wish list, and we can determine what works for us. It doesn't look like we have too much. It looks like right now it's just the money for the design for municipal and the request for this, so those are pretty small. And I would say there's strength in numbers when it comes to the budget. The more people you can have that are supportive of an idea, the better off anyone is to get it into the substitute. What often happens is when we have the budget work sessions downstairs, we're sitting around and we basically, the budget chair is going to take everything that has been submitted on individual lists as well as caucus lists, and they're going to come up with a substitute that's got a smattering of everything. And then you kind of have to convince people to say this makes sense, this doesn't make sense. So the more of us that can have something on our wish list, the better off it looks that we can get it into the substitute.
Okay.
I would like to say on that note, I'm not sure how many of you have had a chance yet to look at the current budget, but Metro Arts budget really didn't increase. I would say, I know that the request from the mayor's office was that everyone kind of took a little bit of a cut. My concern is if a department has never really been fully funded, you're not really taking a cut on them, you're just decimating them more. So we have an opportunity potentially to give them more money to make them right. I think we have to separate what is an HR issue that falls under the purview of Metro Arts Commission handling HR issues and what falls under us in the distribution of funding to be sure that grants are handled appropriately. And you have to have more money to do that adequately than less. Oh, I see something that looks like a windmill or some kind of whirring motion over in the corner. I'm trying to pretend like I don't see it. I just, because she's, yes ma'am.
I have that figured out from Susan Dry. It is
Oh, wow.
with benefits around $90,000.
90,000. Thank you
Thank you all.
so very much. And your name again, please?
Jessica Horn.
Jessica Horn. Thank you, Jessica.
Thank you so much.
It's just one position
Yes.
at the main library? Or-
It would benefit us system-wide.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
That's
okay.
what- Okay.
Thank you for that clarification too. Chairwoman,
Yes,
maybe
Councilwoman
we can- Maybe if we encourage any of the details around that, just go ahead and send it to the chair as
Will do.
well. But this is great.
And I'll make sure Rosa
Well, I was gonna
sends
say,
it
you
out to
may want
everybody.
that full, with the consideration, but that's wonderful.
Thank you.
Does anyone, before I get put on punishment, does anyone have anything else that they would like to add? Okay, well, guests, thank you so very much for coming and providing great information. And anyone like to make a motion to adjourn?
Second.
Okay. All in favor?
Oh,
Okay.
sorry.
Wow, I mean, that got it. We are adjourned.
Sorry, that was fast.